All right, now we're rolling.
Okay, now we're good.
Okay. So go ahead, tell us about how you use technology in your classes and ensembles in your professional life.
Sure. In classroom, any simple stuff from playing CDs of music, or making copies and overheads of people's assignments to share with the class. Everyone can have input and see all the same thing at the same time. Also, YouTube has been a good resource for sending out videos to members of the orchestra so they can get an idea of the pieces that we're performing, what they sound like. And often with those videos there's links to other performances of the same piece so that you can get a couple different perspectives on the same piece. So YouTube has been a great resource in that perspective. Also in class, I can show documentaries or parts of documentaries that I found on the internet, whether it's YouTube or something else. And I've used my iPod in, I think, all the classes I've taught and ensembles to just a real portable, easy way to bring lots of different files. And
how do you use
recordings.
the iPod with the whole class? Do you hook up speakers to
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. I plug it
Okay.
into usually these.
Oh,
these guys right here.
okay.
And the classes here are small enough that you don't need a big sound system here. But yeah, and that's made it a lot easier than hauling 10, 12 CDs around every day.
Yeah.
So that's been convenient. In my own professional work, I use computers a lot. I use Finale for all my music notation. Finale is probably the oldest and most well known of all the music notation programs. So I use that to print out all my works, even self-publish a lot of my own music.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Is it commercial self-publishing or?
It's sheet music publishing. Yeah, I make it available through my website if people want to buy it.
Oh wow! I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I link up my website to PayPal. So if people want to just buy sheet music directly from me, it's a real easy way that they can do it. And PayPal's a trusted, reliable internet vendor.
Wow.
So in that way, I get more of the profits than if I had a publisher. So that's kind of nice. And also computer programs like GarageBand I've used a little bit. I'm very, very beginner level in programs like that, or like Pro Tools, or these audio editing programs.
Are those programs that allow you to put different audio tracks on top of each other
Yeah,
and
yeah.
compose with the?
Yeah, you can do lots of different things with them. I'm not really exposed to those more technological music things, but the fact that the tools are there and other people have done a lot with them, it's really been advantageous, and a lot of people to do more stuff than maybe they could have in the past. So especially in like just playing music back and getting an idea of what things would sound like with real musicians, or like you mentioned, just layering things in different ways, and tweaking balance, editing sounds slightly, things like that. There's a lot of good tools out there for that.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Teichler.
Sure.
All right, we're rolling. Okay, so how do you use technology in your classrooms, Dr. Alcorn? Which programs do you use the most often? You mentioned YouTube.
I use YouTube on a daily basis. I don't know how people taught before YouTube. Seriously. Because what I can do with YouTube is find not always high quality, but enough to give an idea of what something sounds like. One of the things that I found over the years is that students can no longer just listen. It's a really hard skill that most of our students no longer have. They need to be looking at something. So on YouTube, I can give them a visual to go along with the audio. If I just have audio, what I find is that the planners come out and they start making their to-do lists instead of listening. Whereas if they have something to be looking at as well as listening to, they catch more of what they're supposed to be listening to. So I find it's amazing to me what is on YouTube. Sometimes it's good stuff, sometimes it's professional, sometimes it's just enough to give an idea. So I use YouTube, I think, in just about every class every day. I've also downloaded, I do a lot more, actually just starting this year, I do more with PowerPoint than I
Okay.
ever have. For a while, I don't know, maybe just because it was like the pedagogical thing to do, I rebelled against it and I didn't want to use it.
I see.
I didn't like turning the lights off in the room because I felt like I lost the eye contact with the class. But the class that I teach in anyway, I can leave the lights on, and it's not an optimal view of PowerPoint, but at least I can maintain eye contact with the students while it's on. And I found that the students do a better job tracking with PowerPoint than they do when I give them the same thing in like a handout. I'm working on embedding videos in PowerPoint. I'm having some technical problems.
Yeah, that
with
seems kind of difficult.
It's tricky. So right now what I do is I have to close down my PowerPoint and go to my video clip. I did just this year get a program that will remove the copyright from feature films, so that what I can do is, and it's legal because I'm using it for teaching purposes and I own the DVD. So what I do though is that allows me just to take the clip that I want and I make a separate little movie of just that clip, so that when I'm teaching the romantic piano and I want to use the clip from the pianist about this Jewish pianist playing Chopin when the Nazi officer stopped him, I can get just that clip and I don't have to waste time tracking, or I don't have to leave it set up ahead of time. It's just right there. Theoretically, I can pull that into my PowerPoint. I just haven't figured out how to do that
What
yet.
is the name of that program that you're using to do that?
I think it's DVD Soft. It's a free. You have to pay for the initial program to override the copyright.
Okay.
But Trinity has a university license for that, so I can put it on my computer.
Okay, so pretty much don't try to do it unless you work for Trinity as a professor.
I don't know the legalities of it.
Yeah.
I do know that to do that, it has to. There's some pretty strict copyright parameters.
Yeah.
So you have to. It's for teaching purposes, and I own it. And it's just a brief clip. So YouTube, that PowerPoint. I do some stuff on the internet in class. I'll do have the class do some internet searches, which becomes easier to do, like in world music class. Yesterday we just did. I sent out a group-wise email telling everybody who had a laptop with wireless internet, and what laptop doesn't anymore, to bring their laptop into class, and we ended up with
about 6, I think.
6, 7 laptops, which was enough to divide the class up so that we could do the in-class work just using the wireless rather than have to go up to the computer lab, which, I don't know, when you're in a lab situation, it's a little more stilted than being able to sit around a laptop and do internet searches and what are they called, web quests. So I've done that on occasion. I show films sometimes. I really don't do anything too fancy, though.
Yeah.
I wish I had an Elmo. I definitely wish I had an Elmo.
Oh, what?
Elmo, it's like high-tech overhead projector, but you can actually take a book and put it on the screen, and then the camera captures whatever it is you've put on the table.
Oh, wow.
So you don't have to make a photocopy of it. You don't have to scan it in. It just projects whatever it is that you put on the screen. They have them over in Rodin, but of course we're the impoverished cousin, so we don't have Elmos.
Okay, I didn't even know those existed, so that's
They're
really
nice.
neat.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? All right, well, thank you very much.